Welcome to Fruitland Baptist Bible College and Hermeneutics 301. For just a few moments, I would like to spend some time going through the course syllabus with you. And if you'll look there on Moodle, or if you'll just download the link I gave you to the course syllabus there, I will discuss this with you. Our course description for the Hermeneutics 301 class is as follows. Hermeneutics 301 is a study of the science and art of biblical interpretation. The course will examine the history of biblical interpretation along with a comparison of the allegorical and historical grammatical interpretations of Scripture. Basic considerations of the general principles of the historical grammatical interpretation of Scripture are discussed. Biblical interpretation is important for Baptist or for any evangelical. As Baptists, we have a statement of faith, our Baptist faith and message, and that statement of faith comes from how we interpret the Bible. In other words, we Baptists associate or covenant around a particular interpretation of Scripture that we have, and our Baptist faith and message is the core of that interpretation. So therefore, how we interpret the Bible and our view of God, man, Christ, Scripture, salvation, the church, eschatology, those beliefs come from how we interpret the Bible. So biblical interpretation and the study of biblical interpretation are important for Christians and for Baptists. With that said, I would like to look just a few moments at some objectives we have for this course. Number one, the first objective is to help students understand the science and art of biblical interpretation. Number two, help students have a basic understanding of the history of biblical interpretation. Number three, help students understand the difference between the allegorical method of interpretation and the historical grammatical method of interpretation. Number four, help students understand the importance of the historical grammatical method of Bible interpretation. Next is to help students learn the general principles of historical grammatical interpretation of Scripture. And lastly, to help students gain proficiency in the use of the historical grammatical method of biblical interpretation. The course requirements are, number one, access to the Internet. You will need to have a good access to the Internet wherever you are in order to do this course. Number two, you will need to have the ability to view videos on the Internet. And number three, you'll need to have the ability to email attachments and upload documents. Students will need to have a proficiency in these three areas in order to successfully complete this course. Just a few words about grading and how we'll grade the course. Number one, all class assignments are graded, and an average of the grades will constitute one grade. In other words, each week you will be given on Moodle some course assignments. Those assignments will be pooled together, and the average for all those assignments will be able to go together to constitute one grade in the course. Number two, you'll have a final exam, and that final examination will constitute the second grade for the course. The final grade consists of the average of the class assignments and the final exam, and that will be your final grade for the quarter. I look forward to spending 10 weeks with you and studying the importance of biblical interpretation. God bless you, and I'm praying for each of you as we go forward.